What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon. NFL Week 9 betting guide. So these are some of the bets. So I've been scouring Outlier, I've been scouring DraftKings, whichever book you play on. I've been scouring those to find some of my favorite props and bets for this week. So I wanted to throw a quick video together. I don't know how long it's going to be, but I wanted to throw a video together to get you guys in the mood to get some bets in there. So if you have not been following along, if you follow us on Twitter, our NBA bets, we are 11-1 in our last 3 days. Won a $300 bet on Friday night for basketball. We obviously had last Sunday. If you did not see, let me get that up real quick for you. Okay, so it's in our Discord, but Discord for whatever reason. Oh, it did pop up. Give me a second. All right, so our betting from last week, National Tight Ends Day, was amazing. $15 wager, $1,600 won. Evan Ingram, David Njoku, Dalton Kincaid, Travis Kelce. Just National Tight Ends Day. So our bets have been on fire. Those were anytime scores. So we're going to have some of those, but we're going to give you prop bets that have to do with quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, whatever it is. I've scoured through, and I wanted to give you some of my favorite plays for Week 9. So if you have not already checked it out yet, make sure you check out our DFS content. Make sure you check out everything on FTA Plus. You can click on the FTA Plus, a yearly pass, which includes DFS and sports betting. Normally $200. Use the promo code NBAIsBack. Get it for $74.99. Only a few coupon codes left. So we're going to build our props using Outlier. So if you have not used them, the link is down below. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. And I'm going to show you exactly what it can do for you. And you can see all of the props and stuff like that. So we're going to go with passing props first. So I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson. And we're going to look at his passing props. So we're going to look at just passing yards. And I know he has a really tough matchup against Denver. The line that we're looking at is to bring it down to 211.5. It's at minus 115. So looking at this, you can see he's got 4 straight games with that going on. 2 games this year, he has not gotten that. One against Dallas, which Dallas's defense is bad, so it didn't really make sense. And then Buffalo's defense is good, but they were up so much, they were just running it on them. But, other than that, 211 just seems weird. 289, 281, 323, and 348. The last 4 weeks have been on fire for him. So I am adding that to my picks. So what you can do is once you add these to your picks, you can look at them and which book you want to put them on. So they are available on DraftKings. It's not available on FanDuel. It is available at Bet365 and BetMGM. So if you somehow do not have a sportsbook account for FanDuel or DraftKings, those will be in the description of this video. If you sign up using our link, they're going to give you bonus money, and we're going to give you a free month of FTA Plus for signing up using our affiliate links. So again, we obviously get some kickback if you use our link to sign up, but if you have not already, make sure you check us out. Make sure you use the link in the description of this video. So that's one that is a weird one that jumped out to me. Another one that I wanted to look at is Winston. Now, they really can't run the ball that well. He's going to have to toss that ball up a ton. He's going to have to throw the ball. And that's what I'm looking for is passing yards. So what I am looking at is I want to look at the alt line of over 241.5, which we can't find it here. So we could look at 225.5, 249.5 you could look at. So let's look at 225. And you can see he put up 334 against Baltimore in the last game. And then they ended up winning that game. I think that's kind of the same thing that's going to happen in this game for them. So you look at this. The passing is the only option in this game for them. So he makes a lot of sense to me. So if I add that to my picks here, you can see DraftKings, you can do 2 of 2. So for just passing, it's 188. But let's do a third quarterback in this parlay. So we can parlay each different category, or you can parlay this entire thing and just kind of see what kind of line it would be. I wouldn't do that, but these are the last one that I wanted to look at. is Justin Herbert. So passers, looking at quarterbacks, I am looking at his line of 225.5. So if we can look at this, let's go here. Let's go to Alt. Let's look at over 225.5, which you can find right here at -115. You can see past 3 games he's hit that. 349 against Arizona. In this matchup here, I like this here. So I'm going to add that to my picks. Look here. We cannot do it on DraftKings. For whatever. Oh, we can't do it on here because we did not do a same game parlay because the Chargers and the Browns combined. So that is where we go in to, we go in here and let's put that together. So this isn't like you can use Outlier to find them, but if you want to build it by hand, a lot of people like to build it by hand. I get that. So if we're going to passing props, we're going Lamar Jackson. So this is the only thing that I don't like is depending on what it is, 211.5 is what I'm looking at. So passing yards, let's go 200 plus, 200 plus here. And then we go back to NFL. Let me pause the video and do this and then show you the result because I don't want this video to be super long. I wanted it to be a quick video. So if you're to do individual bets, you can do like Jameis over 211.5 and stuff like that. But if you're doing the same game parlay, Jameis for 225 plus, Justin Herbert for 225 plus, and then we got Lamar Jackson for 200 plus passing yards there. So we look at that, and that is a 3-game parlay there. We're looking at 314. So usually DraftKings has some boosts, which I have not gone through to look yet, but you get like a parlay boost or something like that every single week. So you could boost this up even past 314. So you put $10 on it to win 41, to win 30, 145 total. So you could look at that. That is one way to do it, use an Outlier. And Outlier is really good to show you just different statistics going through. So that's one of the bets that we're looking at. I wanted to look at the pass catchers there. Now, if you wanted to do touchdowns, so you could do touchdown scores, just anytime touchdown at all. These are the ones I'm looking at for this week. So DeAndre Swift, and then you just go touchdown. Over 1, obviously. 1 plus touchdown. You can see 4 straight games he's got a touchdown. Plus 104. So I'm going to add that there. I'm going to go back. Jahmyr Gibbs is another one. Looking at Jahmyr Gibbs for touchdown. And you can see injuries. So if if someone's out, definitely see. And you can see the expected value, the VIG. It just shows everything. So then you can see, that's just someone who's not going to be involved. But anyway, so you look at the last 10, you can see he had 1 last week, 2 against Minnesota, and you can just see 80% of the time his last 5 games he's gotten it. 71% of the time in 2024 he has a touchdown. So I'm adding that to my book at plus 100. I like those odds there. And then if we look at another one, now this is one, it's a very contingent on Jameis Winston, but he had 1 last week. So you look at over touchdowns there, he had 2 last week. It was the first time he had it. He was in our optimal lineups, and he came through for us. So if you add him there to your touchdown picks, a 3-game plus or touchdown parlay plus 1068. And what I love is you can come through here, add it to your bet slip. It'll take you out to whichever book you choose, whether or not it's FanDuel or DraftKings. It adds it there. Okay. Let me clear that because I forgot to clear that earlier. And it'll add it to our bet slip. It comes out. It puts it directly into your bet slip. And you can add your parlay there. You can round robin it. You can do whatever you want. So I'm very excited. I love Outlier.bet. So that is the bet number 2, anytime touchdown bet. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to clear this out. We are now going to look at receiving props. So just receptions. So not necessarily receiving yards, just receptions right now. So we're going to go receptions. And we are going to look at 3 people. Well, Tillman was one of them. Cedric Tillman. Over 3.5 is what I'm looking at. So over 3.5. So 4 receptions on the game. He had 15 grabs for 880 yards his last 2 weeks. You can see he's been targeted a ton. He's obviously the clear number 1 wide receiver now for Jameis Winston and Cleveland after they've traded away people. So I look at this, take it over 3.5. Love this pick. It's a minus 138. Another one I want to look at for the Bills. Should be healthy and should be rearing to go. So if we look at Shakir, over 4.5 is what we're looking at. That's the line. He had 16 grabs his last 2 weeks. 9 last week, 7 the week before. You can see he's hit this. He's the clear number 1 target when it's not National Tight Ends Week for Josh Allen. I'm going to add, and it would be even more of a boost if Amari Cooper is actually out. And if Curtis Samuel, they were both out, it could be huge, even more for Shakir. So I'm adding him to my picks there. And then a third one here I'm looking at is Mr. Hunter Henry. Don't really know what's going to happen with the quarterback situation, so hopefully, dump off passes galore. But over 3.5 is his line, and you can see he has 13 in his last 2 weeks, and they can't really run it. They've got to dump the passes off. We just need receptions. I don't care about the yards at this point for this one. We just need receptions. So I'm going to add that to my picks. It is here. 3 of 3 on DraftKings at plus 440. You only get 2 of 3 on FanDuel, 3 of 3 on Caesars. You can see DraftKings has the best odds for this. You add that to your bet slip. You add these bets in there. These are bets that I'm going to take. So I take it right out here to DraftKings. I come here, put $10 on it, place my bet. That is it. That is how simple it is when we're taking certain bets. So I love it. So now let's do receiving props, receiving yards here, and we are going to go with, I have a few in mind, so I'm very excited for this one. This one's going to be one of those boomer bust type ones, but I'm going to parlay this one together. So these are receiving props for receiving yards. So Shakir's another one I'm looking at. And you could add the receptions plus receiving yards if you want to make it a bigger parlay when you have the same people. You can look at this. So what I want to look at is over 51.5. Is that available here? Let's clear this out. Add it to my picks. Is it on DraftKings? Because I use DraftKings. So not available on DraftKings. So I will take the 52.5. We'll take the one here. Okay. Shakir, 52.5 receiving yards. Again, it would be a huge boost if the other guys are out. But 65 2 games ago, 107 last week on National Tight Ends Day, where he's still 8. So I am taking this one, and I am going to add that to my picks and make sure it's on DraftKings, which it is. So the next one that I want to look at for receiving yards, Lamb. So you got CD Lamb. The line right now is over 85.5. So we look at this, back-to-back games, he's gotten it. 60% of the time his last 5 games he's gotten it. 57% of the time on the year he has gotten this. They really can't run the ball. It doesn't matter who's the running back for Dallas. It just doesn't seem that they can do it. He's got 3 of his last 4. 7 of his last 10 he's gotten this line. So I'm adding this one to my pick as well for DraftKings. Another one is maybe third year's a charm. Brad Pitt's brother, Kyle Pitts. So we look at this. The line was at 47.5, but is now 46.5. And you can see 4 straight games with that. Didn't have any in that game against New Orleans, and then has hit it 80% of the time this year, or his last 5 games, and 63% on the year. So it's going to be a huge one that I'm looking at. With Joe Flacco being back behind the center, Josh Downs has been his number 1 target. The line that I was looking at is 58.5, so it has gone up. So let's see if we can alt it to 50. Can we do 59.5? Is that on DraftKings or no? It is on DraftKings. The Kyle Pitts one is not at 46.5 for whatever reason. Okay. But anyway, Josh Downs, 60 plus yards in this game. You can see 109 last time, only 3 against Miami, and then he's hit it every other time that Joe Flacco was out there, and he hit it with Anthony Richardson as well. So I do like this one. Another one is the number one wide receiver in our hearts, Justin Jefferson. So we look at Justin Jefferson, 84.5, over under 84.5. You can see he's averaging 97.8 yards per game, receiving yards, and 8+ targets a game. So he had a down one there against Detroit, but 115 last week. I love this one here. I love this matchup here against Indy. They are a very bad secondary. They're a very bad defensive team overall. I think Sam Darnold and Justin Jefferson are absolutely going to feast in this game. So then we go to the next one, Rachaad White. Now, he is a running back. I get that. But he has 11 grabs for 109 yards his last 2 games. I am just looking for over 20.5. Now, if we can get that on DraftKings, we'll look at that. Or 19.5. Can I add that to my picks? It is not available there. So we could look at... if Bucky Irving is out, that would be even more of a plus. You can see 38, 71. So I'm very confident. I'm going to look at, what is his line? 23.5. So 24 receiving yards. I'll add that to my picks. I will take 24 receiving yards in this one. Another one here, K. Dotton. We used him last week. Obviously, with the two big dogs going down in the receiving. With both Evans and Godwin being down, Otton has to step up. I think he's the number one dude there. The line was 47.5. It has now moved to 48.5. I think he could get 50 plus. 81 last week, 100 the week before. Should be good to go with being the number one target receiver for Baker Mayfield in this one. So looking at these, we've got 6 of 7. Now I want to take this out to DraftKings Sportsbook. Looking at the receiving ones. And again, you could look at this and you could build out. The reason we can't do it like right here is because it's a same game parlay. So we would have to go through and build it as that same game parlay. So those are ones that I will definitely do, but I don't want this video to be super long. So we will, for sake of the video, we will move on and I'll put this bet in later. Rushing yards is the last one that I want to look at. So rushing yards, and again, if there are other ones that we're not talking about, let us know down below. Would absolutely love to know some of your favorite ones. But Achane, with Tua back, with Tyreek still being there, looking at over 50.5 or over 51.5, depending, or no, over 49, so 50 plus yards, which is available on DraftKings. And I love, you can see it right here, and you can see everything there. So 174 receiving or rushing yards the last 2 weeks with Tua back, which we absolutely love. 97 last week, 77 the week before. I'm going to take this one here. Again, his last 5, only 40%. Tua wasn't in there. So I'm adding him there. Another one I'm looking at, guy who's coming off a debilitating loss, Caleb Williams. What we're looking at is over 22.5. His last 3, 41, 56, and 34. Or 47, 56, and 34. I mean, he's hit that. It's just, he should be good to go here. I'm adding him to my rush. If you want to do, double same game parlay with the same person, but we talked about him for a touchdown here, is DeAndre Swift. The line that we're looking at is over 66.5. Or backup. Is it on DraftKings? Yes. Over 66.5. Now, We look at this. 129 last week. 91, 73, 93. 4 straight games with it. 80% of his last 5. 57% of his last 2024. Add that to my picks. And then the last one, last bet for you guys. We've got Jahmyr Gibbs. Obviously, always could get a touchdown vultured by Montgomery, but his line over 64.5. It is now moved up to 66.5. And if you look at his last games, 127 last week, 116 the week before, did have 63 against Dallas, but he's hit this line 80% of the time his last 5, 71% of the time on the year. He has hit this. Add this to my picks as my rushing picks. Caleb Williams 1 is not available, so 3 of 4, which you could look at this. We can add it to our bet slip. Go out to DraftKings Sportsbook here. It'll pop it out. You'll 3-pick parlay for 518, which you could look at here. You could you could add more, but I'm going to put another 10 on here. I'm going to put that bet in there. So those are the bets that we like. We've got our passing props. We've got our receiving props, both yards and receptions. We've got our rushing yards and our anytime touchdowns. If you guys like these kind of videos, let me know, because we do some of these sports videos or sports betting videos when we break down like Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football. So if this is a video you like and it was enjoyable for you, let us know that. Let me know if there are other things, and send the down below in the comments. Let me know what bets you guys are taking this week. Would love to collaborate with everybody else. Let's make $1 million together. I think we can do that. So that's what we've got. Good luck today, and as always, let's bring up some bacon. Peace.